Hi, this is Craig and welcome back to Cruising Off Duty. If you've been watching the channel, you know that I sailed a 50-foot catamaran, an Xquisite X5, from Cape Town, South Africa, across the South Atlantic, over the equator, through the Caribbean. And this episode is where it all starts off. We do our very first test sail in this episode, where we wanted to showcase this parasail. This is what we're going to have instead of an asymmetrical spinnaker, and since this voyage is going to be mostly downwind sailing, a spinnaker is a must, and since none of us had sailed with the parasail before, we wanted to make sure we knew how to do it before we left Cape Town. You don't want to get out there in the middle of the ocean and figure out it doesn't work. In this episode, you're also going to get formally introduced to the 4 other members of the crew that are going to be with me, at least to Namibia, and then we're going to go down to 3 other members of the crew. More on that later. Before we get into this episode, I just want to thank my patrons, some of which have been around since the beginning of the channel, long since before I was doing any of these transatlantic voyages, and in this particular voyage, a bunch of sponsors that jumped on board to help defer the costs of me flying halfway around the world and spending 8 weeks away from my regular job. Thanks so much. I couldn't have done it without you guys. And yeah, without any further ado, let's get on to this episode.
We anchor and hoist the sail.
Okay, the day has arrived. This is gonna be my first chance to do sailing of this model hull number 9 of the Xquisite X5. This is the boat I'm gonna take across the South Atlantic, across the equator, through the Caribbean, and to the east coast of the United States. This is our first test sail, and just so you know the lay of the land, we're here in V&A waterfront, and I'm gonna turn the camera around and show you that bridge over there. So that bridge only lifts at 1/4 noon, 45 past noon, every half hour after that, but on the quarters. So we've radioed them to say that we're coming through at 12:15. That bridge and one more bridge open at the same time, and that's your only chance. If you miss it, you got to wait another half an hour. So we're about to set sail.
Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right and away, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Once you're pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need
I'm gonna furl out
it. Once
the
you're pandemonium.
so I don't have to deal with the pilot.
Look at this smile on Steve's face. He's already having a great time.
It's like
The limit of love is endless.
Okay, we've motored out into the wind far enough that we can turn around, have lots of space behind us to try this parasailer. So the boys are going to take it out. Okay, we're putting the parasailer up for the first time.
The limit of love is endless. I know.
So we got it up. Looking pretty good. Clearly we could use more wind.
Yeah, I want it all.
So how fast are we going now?
I mean, we're doing now 3.5 knots, and it's 5 knots through wind.
Okay. So it's
5
definitely,
knots through wind. I mean, the apparent wind is 2 knots.
yeah, yeah.
It sometimes goes up to 3 apparent.
So yeah, without a sail like this, we wouldn't be able to sail at all, right?
I mean, with this wind, I mean,
Yeah,
there's no
almost
wind.
no wind.
Like the true wind is 5 knots right now.
right.
I mean, 5 knots of doing that downwind, you can't.
On our long passage, this sail will be invaluable.
Oh yeah, I mean, in the moment, imagine that now you're having 5 knots through. If you would have like just 10 or 15 knots.
Oh yeah, we'd be moving.
I think you could sail right into the slip with this thing.
Let's try.
Beautiful day
Wind is totally shifting
under a
around.
spinnaker, and check out the view of Cape Town. So nice. Table Mountain is completely clear. You can see Signal Hill.
Downhaul port.
Nice. Now we just tested it going 90 degrees to the wind.
Guys, as we're getting into the entrance of the harbor, let's slowly drive to the other side. Let's
Maybe do the little, okay?
So we did 90 degrees to the wind on this side. We're going to jive around, bring this parasailer to the other side. And look at all the kelp, big, huge chunky kelp that floats in the water. Now we're sailing, so it doesn't matter as much, but you don't want to hit that with your prop.
This is gonna stop us.
See that stuff? Okay, we did proof of concept. This parasailer is going to be invaluable for our trip. Going to be some serious light wind days, and we've proven we can almost go 90 degrees to the wind with this, almost like you would do for a really big screecher or a Genoa. But this is such light material that you can use it in like days like today where it's super light wind, where a normal sail would just hang like a curtain. So proof of concept, it does work, and we're pretty happy about that. Any of you watching might have wondered who this other gentleman is on our boat. He's come out for the test sail with us. Tell us, Joe, who you are and who you work for.
Hi, I'm Joe Hayward from North Sails Cape Town. We put together the sail package on this boat.
What sails do we have on the boat right now?
So we made a package that's easy to use, and the boat's centrally run from the cockpit. So we've got a big Screecher Code 0 on the forward foresail, and a self-tacking jib for heavy air sailing. The big Code sail is a great utility sail in that you can use it in your light air as an upwind sail, and it acts as your big jib, and then off the wind you use it as your heavy air spinnaker, you know.
Right.
So it gives you good drive with 80 square meters of sail area. Balances the mainsail out. A square top 100 square meter mainsail that's got 3 reefs. First 2 reefs are single line reefing, so very easy to use. We upgraded the reefing system so that for long passages, so you don't have the chafe that you get with single line reefing, you can jam it off and have traditional reefing, so clipped in with a dingle ring setup on the mast. I've done a fair bit of sailing, lucky to be brought up in a sailing family, and yeah, was privileged to be part of the South African America's Cup team, and yeah, involved in some offshore racing with boats like ICAP Leopard and others. I love sailing, and I grew up sailing in this part of the world, and it's pretty much...
So you found the perfect profession.
Perfect profession. Cape Town sailing is happening here.
Great. Okay, thanks a lot.
Cool.
All right, before we go off on this 8-week passage, we should really introduce the crew to all the viewers, so I'm not just filming random faces. Of course, some of you would probably already know Sean, but explain who you are, why you bought an Xquisite quickly, and what you're hoping to get out of this long voyage.
Well, I basically did a lot of research on various catamarans. I went to boat shows, and truthfully, nothing really matched the build quality and ease of use that the Xquisite has. And that was really the reason for my choice.
Cool.
I did choose to take the boat from Cape Town. I wanted to get a good break-in cruise, so we're starting on a nice long leg on our first trip.
Yeah. Right to test out.
Yep. And
And you're from?
oh, I'm from Wilmington, North Carolina.
North Carolina. Cool.
Yep.
All right. All right. Next crew member is Neil. Where are you from, Neil? And tell us a bit about your sailing experience.
Oh, I'm from Britain, originally Scottish, but living in England in Nottingham, so about as far from the sea as you can get. And we have a boat that we keep on the south coast. And I mean, my experience is basically my parents threw me in a cot and took me sailing when I was about 3 months old with my grandfather on the west coast of Scotland. And then I sort of got very interested in it from, I suppose, about the age of 8. And you know, that's led me to do quite a lot of cruising all over the world, chartering mostly until we made our own commitment to a boat, which we sailed back from Mallorca to Britain about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was great fun.
What are you hoping to get out of this long, I'm assuming this is going to be the longest passage you've done?
This will be the longest passage I've ever done, so I'm very excited about that, and to do it on a boat like this is going to be amazing.
Right.
I've not sailed on a catamaran like this before, so I've learnt a few new things this morning about the rigging and so on, which has been interesting. And yeah, I think it's just going to be great fun, great people. It's going to be a fantastic place to actually set sail from with this amazing sort of backdrop. To see that disappearing behind us over the horizon, it's going to be really amazing when you think that we're going to be going across to almost the mouth of the Amazon after the various other places that we stop on the way. So it's very exciting.
It's going to be epic.
Very exciting indeed.
Awesome. Great to meet you. And last, but certainly not least, is Steve. Where are you from? What's your sailing experience? And what are you hoping to get out of this?
I'm from California, from about 100 miles north of San Francisco. And like Neil, I also grew up sailing on a family boat when I was about 4 years old, started sailing. And it's been a dream of mine to sail since I was a young boy. And finally that dream became a reality when I turned about 40. My wife and I bought our first sailboat and sailed. Over the course of 7 years, we sailed about 20,000 miles from California to the South Pacific, to Australia, New Guinea, Indonesia, Thailand. And we eventually sold that boat about 2 years ago. And now we are back on the hunt for our next sailboat. And that has what's been really led me to this extremely well-made boat. I'm not aware of any program that has the attention to detail and design and build quality of this vessel. It's quite remarkable, and I think it may be absolutely unique in the entire industry. So it's such a privilege to be able to spend time on the boat and really get to know it.
Yeah.
And I also just love being at sea. I cannot wait to get offshore. Yeah. Today was our first day out of the marina, and I'm just itching, like, do we have to turn around? Don't make us turn around.
It's hard to get the smile off your face, isn't it?
Let's go.
Awesome.
So we've got a great group of comrades, including yourself and Sean, and we do have one kind of problem person on board, the Pommy Brit guy, but we'll deal with him once we get away from land.
International waters.
No, we're all becoming fast friends, and we're going to have a wonderful time on this trip.
It is going to be
fantastic.
Epic. It's going to be great.
Yes.
Well, great. Glad to meet all of you on camera.
Your turn.
Oh, my turn. Okay. For anybody who's just joining the channel for the first time, I'm Craig. I'm from Canada. I sail a 35-foot monohull on the Great Lakes, and I did one previous transatlantic passage with the people from Distant Shores, Sean and Cheryl Shard. They invited me to go from Las Palmas to St. Lucia last year, and I did that. And then Sean, the owner of this boat, saw me from that, and I did do one of my episodes. I did say, if anybody else wants to take me on their catamaran, I would be more than happy to make episodes about your boat. And then Sean contacted me with Tomas and asked if I'd like to do a 6 to 8 week passage from here to the East Coast of the United States. And I am a police officer, I had to ask permission, extended leave, and I got it. And I'm super happy to do this journey. It's going to be epic, and it's going to be a trip of a lifetime. Something you're never going to forget. But even if we do start to lose our memories as we get older, we're going to have these episodes to be a time capsule for future viewing. So I'm looking forward to it. And these guys have been great. I think we're going to laugh a lot, and it's going to be enjoyable for the viewers as well. Hey, we've had an awesome, look at this view, awesome day testing this Parasailer on our very first sail. Well, my and the other crew's very first sail. Sean, the owner's gone out on a test sail, of course, before this. But now it's time to collapse the sail and get back to the dock. But yeah, like I said about Steve, he's been smiling the whole time. So have I behind the camera, because this has been such a great experience, and to have such a great light wind sail is a relief, because if you watch my first transatlantic, there was many days with such light wind that almost our spinnaker wasn't even useful. So this Parasailer is definitely more stable in light winds, and therefore a great addition to our sail package. So I'll film them putting it down, and that'll be the end of the episode. So let's see how it goes.
To be
Larry, or like the Three Stooges, like
It's all gone dark. Yeah,
turn
that's
around
right.
with the ladder.
And then what we
Then
do,
we have the blooper reel at the end of every episode.
Then what we do is we come up to Craig like this, and then we pull the inflate button.
My camera goes flying. Joe offered to take us to the gondola, and 3 of us agreed to go, and then we find out it's a pickup truck. Is there any last words you want to say to your wives before we take this trip?
All I can say
See
is
you, bye.
it was a great day today because we got out on the ocean.
There we go. Last day, best day.
Okay, you're not going to want to miss the next episode because that's the one where we cut the dock lines for the final time and head out into the Atlantic Ocean for our big voyage. A lot of crazy experiences happen on this long 8-week voyage. You're not going to want to miss any episodes, so definitely subscribe to the channel, hit that notification button so you don't miss any episodes. And if you found this episode or any of the episodes enjoyable or informative, show the channel some love by giving it a thumbs up. I appreciate that a lot. On a complete side note, and really as just a favor to a friend, Tomas, who's the owner of Xquisite Yachts, became a friend of mine during this voyage. And yeah, he asked me to do him a little favor. Hull number 8, which is the hull right before the one that I'm on this voyage, it was actually sold to someone who put a deposit down. They built the boat, and then due to some sort of personal reasons, they backed out of the deal. So their loss is going to be somebody else's gain. This is one of those rare occasions where you don't have to wait to have a boat built. There's usually at least a backlog of a year, and hull number 8's done, and it is on the east coast of the United States. If you are interested in an Xquisite yacht, definitely contact Tomas at Xquisite Yachts and ask for more information. If you do contact Tomas or anyone at Xquisite Yachts, let them know you heard about it through my Cruising Off Duty video. Not that I get paid anything, but it's just cool to show them that there is the power in social media. So that's it, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Talk to you next time. Catch you later. Safe cruising, all that jazz. Ciao for now.
Weigh anchor and hoist the sail.